Welcome, citizens. So we're going to do something a bit different in this video. We're going to have a kind of discussion about the current state of the game. Not so much 3.8, but just in general. And then we're going to sort of look towards the future and kind of put out a warning about how shit it's going to be.
Yeah.
So yeah, this isn't specifically meant to be a very overly negative video. This is more of a kind of starting a discussion about, like I said, the current state of the game. And yeah, kind of a warning, I guess. There's a lot of things coming to Star Citizen in 2020, and you know,
they're going to break a lot.
Yeah, they're going to break a lot. We're kind of seeing that already, and yeah, I've got a nasty feeling that this year is probably going to be the worst year for Star Citizen.
Oh yeah, without a doubt. It's already started off pretty bad.
Yeah. So let's kind of get into it a bit, and I'll kind of explain the reasoning behind it. Before we do get started, I suppose we should go through the giveaway and stuff. So at the moment we're running a giveaway for a Titan, I believe. Is it LTI?
It's Avenger Titan game package with 2 years insurance.
Right, okay. That is still running up until Friday, I believe. Is that
yes.
Right?
Yeah.
So now's your chance to get those last comments in and win yourself an Avenger Titan. Also, we are still running the charity event, so we're collecting money for the Australian bushfires. If you have any money you can spare, then click the link in the description and give us anything you can. I'm sure every Australian will welcome any help they can get right now.
Definitely. And also, just before we jump into everything, big disclaimer. These are our personal opinions. These aren't facts. I mean, some of this stuff is facts. I mean, we're going to tell you things that are coming. But this is the way we feel the game is heading. This is what we think the year is going to be like. So don't take this as gospel, and if you disagree, that's cool, and definitely let us know in the comments if you disagree. But these are our opinions, so yeah, pinch of salt, my friends.
Okay, so let's start off with the big tech that we got at the beginning of the year, I guess. Socks. Now I recently put a post out on Twitter. This was like a little mini poll just to kind of get a feel for how people were finding 3.8, and it actually came back a lot different than what I expected. If anyone's kind of perusing our Discord, you'd know that there's quite a few kind of pissed off players right now.
Oh yeah.
But taking a little snapshot from the Twitter, it actually turns out that it's around 50-50 of people enjoying the game and having a good time, and those that are just getting constant bugs, crashes, and wanting to burn it.
Yeah. And
this kind of surprised me a little bit. I say we've only got a small sample group within our Discord, and this was another small sample group within Twitter. So I'd be kind of interested to hear how everyone's perception of 3.8 has been. I don't really want to get too much into 3.8 per se right now, because we've got our 3.8 review coming out soon, which will go into a lot more detail than we will here. But before Socks came out, it was kind of viewed within the community as though it was going to be a catch-all Jesus edition.
The Holy Grail.
Exactly. It was going to fix everything. Performance was going to be amazing. There was going to be no more bugs. No, it wasn't quite seen like that. But you get the idea. It actually turns out that it was kind of the complete opposite. As I say, from the experience that we've had more bugs and crashes in 3.8 than we have had in any other pack. Actually, no, that's probably not true. 3.6 was actually quite bad as well.
It was, although there's a hell of a lot more since Socks that I've found a hell of a lot more crippling bugs that have kept me from being able to actually go out into the universe than 3.6. So
yeah, I think
swings and roundabouts.
We've both had kind of incidents where we can't spawn ships or we can't get out of habs or anything. Yeah, in that regard, it has been a lot worse, I guess. Now, there has been some kind of discussions around about whether they should have released socks now.
No.
No, they shouldn't release
No,
it.
basically.
So yeah, it's kind of one of them sort of double-edged sword things where they need to get it out to us so we can test it and get rid of the problems. But at the same time, it partly feels like it was a bit underbaked, and it might not have been the best time to release it into a live build over Christmas.
Yeah, definitely. And do you know, it's funny actually. I'm gonna put this little snippet out there for you guys, because I was actually having a really long, very long and detailed conversation with that crazy Tonk guy, and very late at night, and we were discussing this very thing, how much troubles we've had since socks. And my idea, whether or not this is even doable I don't know, was to actually have a PTU, then have a PU, but then have essentially like a rollback PU, which actually plays the most current stable PU build. So for example, they want a large cross section of people to test this PU, and I'd guarantee you 75% of the entire fan base would be in the buggy PU. But then if you get so disheartened with the game that you cannot play it anymore, you can go into, for example, 3.7 PU, which was a stable version for most, and then just play the game and enjoy it. That was my idea, and I just think that socks has kind of come in a little too soon and has made too many desync issues and all these problems, and I think that could be one way where they can maybe shoo away a lot of these people. And you see it in our Discord, people just going, yeah, I'm done, I'll see you in 3.9. And it's sad.
Yeah. My thought was whether to keep socks in the PTU only.
Yeah.
As they release new builds into the PTU, just keep socks on there so they can test it in the background. But yeah, keep it there until it's in a good place for the PU.
Yeah, it makes sense. It's definitely underbaked, as you say.
Yeah. We haven't really had any kind of official words from CIG about socks. Only that it was released and that was it. There's been no kind of acknowledgement that it's been this bad.
Yeah, we don't know if it's actually performing well or performing badly. If this is how it's supposed to perform, oh no.
No, I think Pappy did mention that it was showing some problems, but there was no word about their kind of timeline of when some of this was going to get cleared up. So I'm not really sure how this is going to go for the rest of the year with socks. But you know, we're creeping up to 3.9 already, and there's been no real kind of, I don't know, any kind of official word, like I say, from CID about how it's going to get fixed, when it's going to get fixed, and how much of a priority it is for them.
I think the problem as well is that they've got this timeline. We've seen it recently with the roadmap. All of a sudden, there's about 25 things just gone whoop. We've had to push that back like 2 or 3 sort of iterations of patches. So I think they're probably pulling their hair out over there at the minute. But this is one of those things where it's like the foundation. So essentially, once you've put this in, you're kind of screwed because you can't really remove it without rolling back. Do you know what I mean? And so I think that they're kind of in it now. They've made their bed. I just really hope that they can patch this out quickly to the point where it's a bit more stable. Because the biggest problem I've found with socks so far that's visibly, definitely 100% caused by the server-side OCS is the desync issues that we're having now, which we have had in the past, but you get it now in small, tiny groups as well, where if you watch our most recent stream, I think it was, where we went caving while I was blind, there was a moment where we went up onto the surface, you were running around, and our crazy Australian friend was coming into land. And I tell you what, it's shocking how much you guys were teleporting all over the place and jerking around, and nothing was fluid, because from my end, it couldn't make the head and the tail of it. And that's got to be down to server-side OCS. So, yeah, it is a shame.
Yeah. I would say that is server side OCS. And there's a lot of problems like that, especially in combat. I get it a lot when I'm fighting NPCs. They just kind of teleport around behind me, and it's just blows my mind about how it's that bad. I know I'm not the only one that's kind of experienced that. I know there's loads of people that haven't experienced that for whatever reason. But yeah, it's just a really bad situation for a lot of people right now. And I've got to say that the forecast for the year, with CIG putting so much resources into Squadron 42, that I think this is going to carry on for quite a few months.
Yeah, I think we're definitely got a good 6 months of pain and misery before anything starts to turn around, because I just think that there's so much work they're going to have to do to make this stable. We've got definitely a bumpy ride at least the next 6 months.
Yeah, definitely. It kind of brings us on to the next point, really, is persistence. Now, this is meant to be in the game right now, limited persistence to do with money and ship support. But because the game has experienced so many problems, we're still getting wipes. And we're not sure how long this is going to go on for, these wipes. Mostly this is down to people exploiting loopholes in the game.
Yeah.
Which is kind of a whole other discussion, really, about whether people that are using exploits in an alpha game is kind of a swear word amongst several people.
Yeah.
But at the same time, again, they have to find these loopholes now, so that we don't have these problems later down the line.
Yeah.
The problem comes that a lot of the times they're finding these loopholes and then they keep using them, and not everyone's reporting them.
Yeah.
So, it brings you back to the people using loopholes or exploits in an alpha game. It's kind of a swear word amongst a few.
Yeah, and the whole point of it being an alpha is that when you come across these issues, you report them, but people are kind of treating this game like it's released, and they're going, "Oh, free money" or whatever, and that's really not the community that we're living in. It's a shame. Yeah,
definitely. So we're going to continue getting wipes from this persistent database every time someone comes up with an exploit or there's some kind of problem. Like another problem we've got at the moment is duplicating items.
Yeah.
Which to me sounds like a database problem, and they're going to have to get on top of that one before they can really stop wiping things.
Definitely.
Again, we don't know how long it's going to take for them to sort this out. It could be a while. They could sort it out by 3.9. Who knows?
Yeah, you never know. And I mean, that's the thing as well, because the other thing to bear in mind as well with persistence is, fair enough, we have some form of persistence in there, but if you're like the many people in our Discord and that we spoke to in the comments that have had something break so badly that they've had to refresh your account, then again, that is essentially a wipe. I mean, there's nothing you can do about it, and you're back to scratch. We've had people who've lost, 2 million? Like, literally saved up for months to get this 2 million, and then boop, had to have a refresh, and it's gone. So I think bracing yourselves is definitely the way to go, I think, moving forwards, because if you just expect that you can play this game, earn a bunch of stuff and keep it, I think you're gonna be in for a bad time.
Oh yeah, definitely. And we're also going to see just mandatory wipes if they bring out something kind of big into the system.
Yeah.
Like server meshing. When that comes online, I'm fairly sure there's going to be a wipe, just for
definitely.
reasons.
Yeah, they've mentioned it previously. They said that persistence will be in there, but there are going to be times when they are going to need to refresh the server. Although they did talk about the possibility of being able to do a server reset, essentially, but separating out certain components of the database, like money and items, so that they're not affected. I don't know how far along they are with that, but that's a thing apparently. We'll see.
Yeah. And there's another problem with this as well. the longer we go without having a wipe, the more stuff we accumulate. But then when a wipe does happen, it's going to hurt so much more.
Yeah, that's the problem, is that, the longer you go, the more bugs build up. The more bugs you've got, the harder it is to fight. I think that they're, like you said, they've got this double-edged sword where they want to keep us happy, but they have to keep their production line moving. And that is such a fine edge to dance along, and I can definitely foresee if they do hold off too long on wipes, then we are going to end up in a situation where drowning in a sea of bugs just to keep some money, and I don't know if that's going to work.
I'm talking a bit more specific about players. If a player does like to grind in this alpha, then they're going to start accumulating like millions and millions of credits and all the ships. And then when we do get a mandatory wipe, what I mean is it's going to hurt. That player is going to feel it so much more than you would normally, every 3 months, because know that one's coming.
Yeah. I mean, it almost kind of gives you it begs the question, why bother? Because we know that we are going to eventually get wiped. And I mean, our personal feelings on this is that, neither of us are actually that concerned. We enjoy the game. We don't really, I don't think either of us has ever really fully grinded for something yet, because what's the point? So for us it's not really a big deal, but for those people who really want to earn those millions and millions just to buy that thing, to know you're going to lose it, that's just sad.
It's not the end of the world for everyone. I mean, I for one, when I've played some big MMOs before, I like starting new characters. So for someone who enjoys the grind and then having that challenge to start again, then they're probably going to enjoy it in some way. It's just not going to be for everyone. There's going to be a lot of salty people.
Definitely, Spectrum will be a light. I mean, it's one of those things where we know it's, again, I'm going to have to say it, it's an alpha. We know it's an alpha, and we know that this is part and parcel of an alpha. I mean, if this was beta and they were still wiping, then we could be annoyed. But, it is an alpha, and we have to kind of just roll with the punches, really. And, eventually we're going to lose our shit. And then a bunch of people are going to lose their shit on Spectrum, and then the cycle continues.
That's it, yeah. And then going back to server meshing that we mentioned before, and this is another big piece of tech that we're meant to be getting in the verse at some point. We're kind of hoping towards the end of the year, but I'm not so sure now. But when it does come in, I can foresee a massive amount of bugs, kind of like what we've got with socks. I can see things disappearing that are in front of you, because they're switching over to a different server. Items getting lost, ships getting lost. Imagine you're just flying along and then a ship just disappears and you're just in space, wondering, where the hell did my ship just go?
Your ship's on a different server, mate.
I can see party problems, like joining up with your friends. I can see all kinds of problems like that. You're in the same area, but you can't see each other because you're on different servers. All kinds of, like I said before, things go missing: credits, items, ships. Not to mention random crashes and bugs that it's going to cause. Some of our Discord members are getting some serious 30k problems right now. Imagine what it's going to be like when server meshing comes on. The sheer number of people. I mean, what did we do the other day? There was 5 or 6 of us, and we spawned a mission that has a bunch of enemies. All right, it's a lot of enemies, but it just made the server unplayable. And I mean, that's now. I mean, you imagine that interim. That's that sort of failover period where they move to server meshing, but it's brand spanking new. It's going to be just awful while they work the kinks out, because there's no way for them to test it. They have to just put it in once they think it's working, and we are the guinea pigs. And it's going to be a nightmare. It's going to be cool. It's going to be so interesting to see that tech in there, because this is the positive part of it, everyone. Server meshing is such a clever thing, and I mean, it's not a new thing, but
in as far as a game using it in this way, it's mind blowing, and I really can't wait to see how they implement it. But yeah, it's going to be a nightmare.
Yeah, like you say, when he comes in, it's going to be really cool. The amount of extra players that we'll have in the verse is just going to be an amazing experience, just flying around and seeing people rather than seeing nobody.
Yeah, that's the biggest letdown in this game at the moment. It's because it's 50-man server, and even when that server is crammed to 50, you never really see anyone unless you're either looking for them or you go to a very, well-populated little hub. But like, in fact, actually, I'll take that back. In this last patch, and I don't know if it's because people are really struggling to fly because their ships are losing engines, I don't know, but I seem to pass a lot of people coming into places now, which I never used to get. It's weird, and like we pulled into somewhere the other night in the it's in the oh god, what's your ship called?
What, the Defender?
The Defender, yeah. We pulled into somewhere the other night in the Defender, and literally as we were coming down, there was just like another ship just taking off, and it felt alive. And I've never really seen that very much in this game, so that's what I'm really looking forward to. Is just like going to somewhere on a planet and going, wow, it's like 40 people here. You know what I mean, or something.
Yeah,
be cool.
Yeah, it will be amazing when it gets in. But yeah, I'm just a bit apprehensive about the amount of problems we're going to have initially when that comes online. And I think everyone should kind of be prepared for that kind of badness that's going to come with it.
Definitely. And I mean, the other thing as well is I think the reason that, we were kind of hoping server meshing would be at the end of the year, but maybe the reason it doesn't end up being there and gets pushed back is because they now know what it's like to try and implement what is essentially a new tech into their servers with socks. And how badly it actually implemented. So, I mean, I'm saying badly, that might be the wrong term, and don't get me wrong, I'm not saying they did a bad job. They're doing a phenomenal job, but it caused never-ending streams of problems for quite a while. We're almost up to 3.9, and they've only just got a patch out that has apparently made it a bit better. So it's definitely not been great. So it scares me that they're going to worry about releasing server meshing. But maybe that's a good thing. Who knows?
Yeah. So I guess to close this off, we've got some big tech coming to Star Citizen this year, and probably some next year as well. This isn't to mention about jump points and the problems we might have with jump points, but we'll get to that another time, I guess. We've got some big things coming to Star Citizen, and while they are, each one of them is going to be an exceptional thing once it's in and kind of bedded in properly. Initially, I think mostly for this year, it's going to be a bit of a shit show in the verse, especially with like resources being used for Squadron 42. I can see a lot of pain this year, and I believe it's going to be the worst year Star Citizen backers have had.
Yeah, definitely. Since the PU kind of went like fully PU, where you could actually fly around and do stuff. I mean, we've had some terrible times way back in the day in the twos. Yeah. But I don't think anything's ever really ground the game to a halt for us, like it has, and like I feel it's going to in the next year. I think they're going to get a lot because they're doing so much heavy tech stuff. There's going to be a lot more game breaking stuff, like the fact that yesterday I tried to play the game, I had no ships, and I couldn't get out of Olisar. I was imprisoned in Olisar. So these sorts of things never used to happen. So it is scary for the future, but it's just going to be one of those where you just have to hold on tight, really. Ride it out. And just to clarify, I mean, this whole video is not designed to be put out there to be negative, to kind of, oh, look, these guys are ripping on Star Citizen. We love this game. It's why we've made this channel. It's why we make all these videos. And it's why we stream, 2 or 3 times a week. We love this game. But it has been troubling for the past couple of months. 3.7 was amazing. but we're moving into territory now which is just unknown, you know, and I think it is going to be hard work over the next year, and you're going to see. I think I can feel the game, you know, losing people, but it's going to retain all us hardcore backers, you know. And so, don't get us wrong, we're not trying to be negative. We're just kind of trying to be realistic in our expectations. But you know, we love this game.
And to throw out a little warning to people that probably don't follow this as closely as we do. Yeah. Just kind of a warning to be prepared for some troubles ahead.
Oh yeah. Okay, so that is pretty much it. I think that rounds it up nicely. Said everything we want to say. So if you have any thoughts on what we've spoke about over this video, then definitely chuck them down in the comments below. We'll definitely keep a close eye on those. We want to have some conversations about this kind of stuff. And if you want to have conversations with us, then definitely join our Discord, because we're always on there. You know, we try and you know, jump into all the conversations as much as we can. So yeah, definitely join our Discord. And also, you know, if you want to play with us, we stream twice a week, and we try to get our subs in. So yeah, definitely join our Discord. It's good fun. And don't forget to comment, because this will pretty much be your last chance to get in on that Avenger Titan game package. And please, I've said it, this will be the third time, give me your billions. No, definitely, if you've got the money, then we really would appreciate a donation to the Australian Red Cross for the bushfires, because it just, you know, every penny counts. So thanks very much everyone, so much for watching, and we will see you again soon. Bye bye.